Apparently annoyed by the noise, Sanyan moved the phone away from his ear. Only after the shouting subsided did he bring it back and reply calmly, "Okay. Call 119 for me." Then he hung up. Looking at Lily, his expression remained unchanged, as if nothing had happened. "Let's go. Your house is on fire and you're not going back," Lily asked. Sanyan countered, "Am I a firefighter?" A few seconds passed. Lily suddenly asked, "May I boldly ask where exactly your house is?" Sanyan glanced at her. "Why?" Lily pulled her phone out of her pocket and replied honestly, "I want to go there and report on it." She dialed her photographer's and editor's numbers from her contacts. While waiting for him to pick up, she asked again, "The name of your community and the specific address. Can you tell me?" Sanyan. Before Sanyan could answer, her colleague picked up the call. Before Lily could speak, her colleague spoke quickly. "I was just about to call you. Are you off work? I just got a tip. There's a fire at Zhongnan Century City nearby. Let's head to the scene." Lily quickly agreed and gave him her current location before hanging up. She met Sanyan's gaze, feeling that the atmosphere had grown unusually quiet. Lily took the initiative to speak. "Do you live in Zhongnan Century City?" Sanyan nodded. "I've got to work overtime and cover this incident. Can we reschedule our dinners?" After a brief pause, she hesitated before asking, "My colleague is driving over. Want a ride?" 3 minutes later, the two were seated in the news station's car. Sanyan had parked his car at a nearby lot and couldn't be bothered to retrieve it. Lily suggested he join them in the back while she sat in the passenger seat. Her colleague immediately asked, "Lily, who's this?" Fastening her seatbelt, Lily replied casually, "A high school classmate. He lives in Zhongnan Century City, probably the owner of the apartment that caught fire. He needs to check on the situation." "Hey bro." Her colleague leaned closer, feeling that Sanyan looked familiar. "Have we met before? You seem so familiar." Sitting in the front seat, Lily checked her equipment. Hearing this, she instinctively thought Sanyan would retort with, "That's the worst pickup line I've ever heard," but he remained silent. She didn't pay it much mind, assuming he was simply not in the mood. Zhongnan Century City was close, only a few minutes' drive away. When they arrived, fire trucks and ambulances were already at the scene. Residents had been evacuated, many in pajamas and without coats, clearly having fled in a hurry. It was nearing 9 p.m. A steady rain had begun to fall, cold and mixed with ice, adding to the chill. The fire originated in Unit B on the 8th floor of Building 6. Flames had shattered the windows, licking outward like a raging demon. The rain was futile, evaporating on contact. Sanyan's apartment was directly above the burning unit. Looking up, he pressed his tongue against the inside of his cheek, a slight furrow appearing between his brows. Lily could guess why he reacted that way. The person who called him likely wasn't reliable, and the situation had caught him off guard, leaving him unprepared. Moments later, Sanyan stepped aside to take a call. Her colleague, with a camera in hand, began filming the surrounding scene. Emergency vehicles flashed red and blue lights. Firefighters bustled about, battling flames, rescuing people, and maintaining order. The rain intensified, darkening the cement ground. The cold deepened as night and rain intermingled. The air was chaotic, a cacophony of voices and activity, reminiscent of a disaster movie. Lily approached a group of residents to interview them. "Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry to bother you. I'm a reporter from the city news station on Namwa Television's Urban Channel. Are you a resident of Building 6? The woman, holding a child, spoke in a thick accent. "Yes. Which floor do you live on? How did you first notice the fires?" "The 5th floor. I heard a loud bang and nearly jumped out of my skin. At first, I thought someone was setting off fireworks," the woman said, now animated in front of the camera. "The noise outside was loud too, so I came out to look." A man standing nearby chimed in. "Exactly. There were several explosions. It's under control now."
Boom.
Before he could finish, another loud explosion came from the 8th floor. The flames surged outward violently, accompanied by thick smoke, illuminating the night sky as if trying to consume it. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Her colleague quickly raised the camera to capture the scene. Lily followed his gaze, her eyes landing on the 9th floor. Then, instinctively, she glanced at San Yan. He stood where he was, calmly watching the fire as he lowered his phone. Sympathy welled up belatedly in Lily's heart. Fortunately, the damage from the explosion was not severe. Only one firefighter sustained minor injuries. All the building's residents had been evacuated, except for a child under 10 who had been trapped in the elevator but was rescued. It took nearly an hour to fully extinguish the fire. The firefighter was still clearing the scene. The cause of the fire remained unknown. Inside the apartment, nearly everything had been destroyed, with no items spared. Adjacent apartments on the same floor and the ones above and below suffered minor damage. However, Unit B on the 9th floor, directly above the fire, was hit the hardest. Its kitchen and living room were completely ruined. After interviewing the relevant individuals, and with the owner's consent and the guidance of firefighters, Lily and her colleague went to inspect the site. Her colleague captured footage of the apartment's interior, occasionally asking questions while listening to the firefighters' explanations. When they reached Unit B on the 9th floor, Lily ran into San Yan. They conducted a brief interview with him, with her colleague handling the questions. Knowing San Yan, he approached the task casually. "Bro, how are you feeling right now?" San Yan clearly found the question ridiculously stupid and responded sarcastically, "I'm thrilled. Hope you can be as thrilled as I am." Continue the interview, her colleague asked. "Was the fire a severe loss for you?" San Yan replied flatly, "Not really. But we just saw the condition of your apartment. It's practically unrecognizable," her colleague pointed out. "And?" San Yan said indifferently. Perhaps realizing he'd come off a bit cocky, San Yan softened his tone slightly. "I didn't keep anything valuable there. Other than the apartment and furniture, the only thing that burned was a phone, but it was already unusable." Lily was taking notes nearby when she suddenly paused for no apparent reason. Still, she didn't initiate further conversation with him. Afterward, they all returned to the station to write scripts and edit footage. On the way, Lily's colleague couldn't help but comment, "Lily, your friend is both pitiful and impressive. His place burned down like that, and he's still so composed." He continued added, "You should give him some advice. Ask him to negotiate compensation with the property management and the insurance company. For now, he just needs to find a new place to stay and not dwell too much on this." Lily gave a nonchalant though she didn't think San Yan needed her comfort at all. The conversation, however, didn't stop. "But sis, you're pitiful too. You were supposed to have a day off tomorrow, and now you're stuck working overtime tonight. I told the boss to just leave me alone.